Welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. We're going to take a little trip to the UK, to London specifically, and we're going to look at three beers made by the Fuller's Company, Fuller's Brewing, and Fuller's is kind of iconic brewery. Again, I hate this word iconic, but give me a better word for it. They have been around for a long time, since 1845 in England, and they were bought in 2019 by the Japanese major brewing company Asahi. It kind of made a bit of a shockwave for a while, but we haven't heard much since then in the ranks of breweries being bought out by larger companies. A lot more noise seems to come from when a brewery is purchased by, say, Anheuser or AB InBev, or a larger company like that. Asahi is a major brewing company for sure, but the general feeling is that they'll probably leave the breweries alone. They're interested in breweries that do something well and do it successfully, and I think they feel Fuller's is probably one of those. Fuller's, again, is in London, and this is called London Pride. It's a bitter or premium strong extra special bitter, and it clocks in at 4.7% alcohol by volume, and it's kind of in the mid-range. They make three beers in a similar style. One is called Chiswick Bitter, which is the location of the main brewery, and that's kind of lower alcohol. And then London Pride, which is kind of a step up to 4.7. And then the higher one is this one, which we will look at in a future video. And this is their ESB, which comes in at 5.9% alcohol. But basically all three are in a similar style. So, but today we'll look at the mid-range and probably the best known one, which is called London Pride. Michael Jackson talks about these beers in his book Ultimate Beer, and for each, he kind of divides beers into different styles or types or situations in which you might want to drink it here, and he calls this London Pride is an example of a sociable beer, English bitter, as a sociable beer, which means tasty, but not too high in alcohol, in which you can, down several pints in an evening and, continue, have a long evening. So not like going for several barley wines or heavy imperial stouts here. A beer that you can drink and talk with people and drink another one and keep talking and not get too toasted. So, in any case, on RateBeer, this one has a lot of ratings for RateBeer. It has 3,370 ratings, and the average score is 3.44 out of 5, and a percentile rating of 71 for its style, which is a bitter, and 96 percentile, I'm sorry, that was 71 for all beers on RateBeer, and 96 percentile for its style, which is bitter. Pretty high score overall. And apparently on tap, the alcohol is a little bit different. And so this one apparently has a slightly higher alcohol range or higher alcohol level than what you might get on tap in a pub in England, for example. Shall we give this one a go? Okay. So it pours out a rather kind of brilliant sort of orange, maybe light tan or brown to it. Light carbonation clinging to the sides and then rising up. about a finger or half a finger of nice white foam at the top. Kind of fat bubbled head, sort of sloppy lace. The aroma is kind of rich, a little buttery, a little like some kind of condensed fruit. It is rather intense in the maltiness. It's just quite well balanced right away from the beginning. Gets a little richer and sweeter in mid-palate. Much fruitier in mid-palate, definitely. And the finish has a little trace of bitterness. I would say thin to medium body. Overall, this is a nice, tasty beer, very light to. Again, you could probably drink, quite a few of these over an evening, and still make your way home on 2 feet. Very, very nice. You can get more information on the Fuller's website. Unfortunately, it seems to be the company which Fuller's is a part of is much more interested in advertising their pubs and their hotels and events that can be held at their hotels. So kind of a hospitality company rather than strictly a beer company. So you won't find a lot of information about the beer, but some perhaps. Okay. So once again, this is Fuller's London Pride, a bitter, English bitter at 4.7%. This is a beer a beer and a style you need to know about if you're interested in beer. And this is probably a very good example of that style. So if you happen to see it somewhere, give it a try, okay? Well, that's it for today. I hope you will subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, okay? Next time we'll be looking at Fuller's ESB. Bye-bye.